What is up?
Yo,
Hey,
what's
how
poppin'?
is everybody doing?
So
What are we doing?
I don't know what we're gonna do. I am Gene with Camel City Brick House.
I'm Drew from Drew Bricks.
I'm Richard from Bearded Bricks.
And I'm Slam with Brickmania.
And you're watching. Dude, once again, man, I think we nailed it. We no longer
Nailed
have
it.
to. Yeah, it's time for us to start screwing that thing up.
We got to bring
Have
it
there
back.
been pop problems? That seemed really easy, right? You
Well,
just take turns and you just talk.
First couple times, I didn't time the clicking right, and I would cut somebody off like every time. Whoever
Nice.
was like, yeah, it was just, and it was usually Gene. So the joke is, every time Gene's talking, just cut him off somehow.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
You're already deploying way more technology than we use on Brickmania TV. So live effects. Live. So you must have a board or something that you're triggering things with?
No, on StreamYard, on our side of it, since we have like the logins, there's a tab on the right side of the screen where you can upload videos and clips and songs and sounds and stuff like that.
All right. So built in
So
effect.
that was a f***ing lie.
Not fair.
Boring.
And see, Drew has the ability to use them now, so they just
They get used all the
Become
time.
Fast and Furious. Nice.
Emotional, damn it.
Oh, we're so out of hand.
I was gonna say I scour the internet for days to find like a 5-second clip that he enjoys.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
That's gonna be so useful later on. Yeah.
Right?
we do have some tons of people in the chat already. We got Mr. Rob Claxton,
Claxton.
Miss Renee Bricks at
What's
or
poppin'?
EMS Bricks. Brick Lab Studio said that he ended his live stream because he wanted to watch this one.
Heck yeah.
Really?
Thanks
You
for the
Heck
support.
yeah.
Adrian, what is up? What is up?
What's
Hey,
up,
have you-
boy Kennedy?
Have you talked to Kennedy yet?
Not yet. Why?
Because we need to like staple that down because that's what in 4 weeks if we're gonna do it.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna make a group message.
Well, I technically asked Noah and seen if Noah was down.
Hmm.
We need to. I guess I'll just do it. I'll do it right now. I'll
Okay.
do it if I don't forget.
So,
I'm-
Renee, are you still working on the Batman? I think that's what I saw on your post about tonight. And what'd you get from Starbucks? That's always a key question. What's up, Crimson Toaster?
she just goes to Starbucks and like pulls up a chair. talks about it.
I'm surprised you're building the whole Batman logo in a Starbucks. That is impressive. They must know you by name there or something.
Wait, the logo cave, that big set.
Yeah. Well, not the big black box set, but the just the big banner sign
Be honest,
that came out recently.
Was it just me, you, Kennedy, and Noah?
And Cole.
That's right.
Thank you, Crimson Toaster. I appreciate it. That was one of those builds I tried doing in what is that? Like 5-6 hours, I think. Even though I didn't really make it a challenge, it just happened that way.
Nothing's ever, dude. I like sit here and the people who design certain things I'll never understand. So I told Slam a little bit about this. I've not shown it to one person so far. I started the church for the Battle of the Bulge, and where all those like angles curve and meet, like to make that hexagon shape in the back, that was hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't want there to be gaps in between it.
Nope.
So it's
Wasn't what you put in those friends picture, was it?
Yes.
Was it?
I just curved it, yeah. But no, it was like I guess I'll Somebody put me on the big screen. I'll show it real quick.
All right.
I've only got the back corner of it done. But
Nice.
Oh, that's looking slick.
That looks good.
Yeah.
Wow.
in order to do it, if you could tell, the windows exactly aren't the same level. But I'll sacrifice the windows being one plate off versus the gap being there.
So is that facing cheese slopes to close the gap?
Yeah.
Is that what you did there? Nice.
Yeah. Use snot bricks on the side and then a plate to attach all the cheese slopes to kind of curve it in.
Yep.
So how do you plan on keeping them from splitting out at the top?
They're attached with round plates.
Okay.
You do know, in 1943, that's not how it was built. You know that, right?
Tell you what,
You were part of the construction on that site, weren't you? Right, Gene?
Yeah, he was part of the architecture.
I did the design work.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That was when he was in his prime. He was like 25, 26.
That's when you had to like chiseled the blueprints into stone, right? Or was that too far? Was that before you?
No. That was half a generation before me.
Oh, okay.
He's got the architecture plan for the arc somewhere. Princeton said, Brick Lab said that he won't be in chat because he'll be playing Roblox. Never played Roblox.
Me either. I prefer the real version, Minecraft.
Or the other real version, Lego.
Yeah, right? Or the real version, Framing.
Renee said that she's on her second half. She ordered an iced toffee nut latte, and yes, they know me by name and order.
There you go.
Hey,
that's what I'm talking about.
It's been January. Technically, February 1st was the last time I drank Starbucks. Well, January 31st.
Dude, Starbucks is so expensive. I only go to Starbucks whenever I go somewhere with my parents, whenever I visit them, because they have money.
Mom, Dad, buy me a drink.
They're like, do you want anything from Starbucks? I'm like, what can I get for $5? Nothing.
You see these napkins and this half a cup right here?
Right?
I think the last time I had Starbucks was when it was the only coffee option in the hotel. I was like, a convention was happening, and I'm like, but black coffee drinker. I'm like, I want nothing to do with any dairy products anywhere near my coffee. So
so that is one of the bad things about being at Brick Fair, Virginia. You said you'd never been. So the way it is in your hotel, you walk out of the hotel and in front of you, there's literally a gas station, a Chick-fil-A, a Starbucks, a Taco Bell, and I think it's a Panda Express.
Okay.
To your left of you, you have a like bento box Japanese, like it's not really a cook in front of you hibachi style restaurant, but it's a nice restaurant. It's really good food. And then across the street from that is pretty much the convention, and then of course the Brickmania store next to it. So like you wake up in the morning and you didn't go to bed until 12 to the night before. You're at the hotel, so you're really not going to drink. The hotel doesn't have a complimentary breakfast that I know about, at least. If it does, I'm on year 4 of going and haven't found out about it. My only option there was to go to Starbucks.
Yep. And I think it was last July was my last Starbucks walk in, and, buying way too expensive a breakfast sandwich kind of thing. Yep.
Oh, I will never buy food from there. You're going to pay $10 for nothing.
Yep.
I remember when their paninis were $3 before. Now they're like $7.50.
They're what?
They're paninis.
They're what?
One more
I'm
time.
not gonna say anything because you're gonna interrupt me. They're paninis.
The fear is installed.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I don't really. To me, Starbucks. It wasn't that it was a waste of money.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. What you want me to do?
We need to. You know what we need to do as a thing, Drew? We need to get your screen where it says battery exhausted and just have it flip up for the whole thing.
That would be funny.
Nice.
That would be funny. I like that.
We don't have to do that. It'll do it by itself.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it
but
will
only
just
on
put
this
up my
screen.
screen.
But no, it's been a long time. I was just all of it started to taste really bad,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Starbucks got really watery when I remember it.
Huh.
The last time I had it, the coffee tasted like it had been out for a long time, like it was almost stale. And I don't drink hot coffee; I drink cold coffee, so it's a little strange.
Like cold press that tastes old. Crazy talk. Yeah. Okay. So I didn't get the itinerary. What are we talking about tonight? Like, do we have a list of events?
We have no itinerary. Gene has a Bricklink store, so normally we go over some orders that he has and try to guess what people are building with the orders.
Nice.
And then me and Drew always bring mocks to the table. Try to bring like 3-4 piece, and we basically rate them. I'm sure you've seen that.
Yep. That's the best part. I love being judgy, so that's great.
Yes,
as a mock builder.
So what's really weird is like internally, I've had to hold back some things, and then like we get to where people are like, "Yeah, don't hold back on me," and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want to just like destroy you on like the internet," because like I know people are doing that to me. The first year, this is a random thing, but the first year I was ever at Brick Fair, I ended up getting with Dan and Dylan.
Nice.
There might or might not have been alcoholic consumption involved. But next thing you know, we go walking around the entire convention for like 2.5 hours and talking about people's mocks. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those things that I was like intaking everything they were saying about things that they look for. And since I've done that, there's been things that I've always I've pointed out. I mean, there's always things that you yourself are gonna point out. But now I'm thinking like out of someone else's head too. So there's a lot of stuff that I guess that I see. And then with you and Dan and Dylan and all them, y'all see a whole nother side of it because y'all see people's stuff like how many people, well, I guess, I don't know if you get it, but how many people a week send you like a vehicle?
Oh, I have no idea. It's probably once every couple of weeks. But
really?
Yeah, because it's known that we don't pick up designs and and sell them. That's not a thing that happens. So, if it's happening, it's probably going to the dustbin or they're getting a polite decline. I mean, and part of that is we don't want to be seen as like, hey, I sent you my plane, and then you released this plane, and it's obviously based on the one I sent you. So there's a whole bunch of not legal concerns, but just
what would you call it? Like Brickmania ideas?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Sure, yeah.
no one got that with the stolen Lego idea.
Yeah, but we've got enough. Like if Dan likes somebody, he'll reach out and contract with them for a kit or two. Like we just put out a 1/72nd scale plane, and that's not one of our standard designers, but it's a guy we respect and does good work and all that. And it's so much work for us to build a kit out of somebody's mock or their studio design. Like designing it is only half the work as far as the designer goes. Instructions are a whole different mess.
Instructions. I don't know how y'all come up with instructions, but instructions are if you're trying to create instructions through Brick Studio for like Bricklink and all that is a monster.
It is a monster. Yep, it takes a huge amount of time, and our guys are pro. Like and they start as they're building their mock, they're building specific submodels with the idea that they'll go into the instructions in a certain order, in a way that makes sense. That's there's just a lot of things you don't want to do when you give somebody instructions. You don't want to have the first step be lay out these 20 plates unconnected. That's a bad idea. Even though it's level 1, layer 1, it's better to start at one end and work your way down. And I say this like I do it, but I don't. So I just know they're experts and they spend a lot of time getting that way. Yeah.
Drew, did you use Studio for the Ice Planet, or are you using Studio at all for?
I never use Studio.
Really?
I don't really have a computer that's powerful enough, so I just build out of.
Oh no!
No, I don't use Studio. I used Studio when like it first came out or something like that, like when Lego was doing a big promotion. And I just remember like I've never had a computer that was strong enough to be able to run programming kind of thing. So
mine seems to do really well until I get into like the 5,000-6,000 pieces, and then it just like I think there's too many elements going on, and it starts to like wig out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also have a hard time like doing something on a computer instead of just doing it in my hands.
Oh, yes. Well, see, everybody asks me like how I come up with some of these ideas. Like a good point is the Tiger 2s I have. Every single Tiger 2 I have is the exact same build, but the pieces are different colors. And they asked me, they're like, how in the world did you come up with that idea? And I was like, well, camouflage wasn't all the same on every vehicle. I was like, they just painted random stuff in random places. And they were like, yeah, but how did you get the parts to match? I was like, you put it all in a wanted list, and you know that you need X amount of 1x2s. You need X amount of 2x2s. And I was like, you just order X amount, throw them in a pile, and when the instructions say 1x1, grab a 1x1. Color doesn't matter.
Yep. Don't even look at the pile, just grab.
Yeah. Well, I tried to make it somewhat like if it's brown, it might bleed down or bleed up or go to the side. Like it's not just like I didn't want it to look checkered at all.
Right.
That's one of the things I wanted to stay away from. But I think they turned out pretty well. Now I'm building the next fleet of tanks is the Shermans, and every single one's just gray, so that'll be easy.
Yep. I spent my day camouflaging a tank also, but with print, because that's what I do. I do the art that gets printed on the vehicles. I'm one of the few people at Brickmania that works on every single kit that goes through.
So did they say, hey, I have an idea about putting a print here, or they just hand you a blank model and go, hope you have fun?
It's pretty conversational at this point. Generally, like the designers will have gone through and picked out what they think is for sure's, but there's some back and forth about what could be added, what could be taken away, like what's important, what's not, what needs to be moved. So
of course, everything can't be highly detailed.
Right. Not everything should be highly detailed as much as I want it to be. Right. And we don't have the time budget, or the kits don't have the budget to support hundreds of prints for each kit. So that's something that we just wrestle with as a small company with only so many people and hours.
That's still a really cool thing to know that you can so Battlefield Bricks is one of the ones he submits a mock every week. What's going on, by the way, Battlefield?
What's poppin'?
Hey.
And every week he builds something new. And I asked him one time, and I think it might have been a Panzer, or it might have been an airplane that he had. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it was an airplane. I was like, where in the world did you get those stickers at? And he was like, because he builds in 1/45th scale. And he was like, they're model decals. Yeah. And I was like, man, I never thought about that at all.
That absolutely works. Like water slide decals, it's a rich environment out there for water slide decals. Anytime if I'm not finding good source imagery, like everything I do, I try to make as historically accurate as possible, unless we're doing Easter eggs. But so I always want to find source photos and work from that. But there's only so much resolution to online images of tanks. So, I'll often look at what other modelers have done with their water slide decals to see if I can figure out, what is that word that's on the side of the tank, or what is that icon? So if I can get more information from then I can go do other research based off of that and figure out what the logo is or what the word is. But it's one of my go-to resources is oh yeah, the modelers have been here, and essentially I'm a modeler also. So.
Well, everybody's got to get an idea from somewhere. Nobody knows exactly how everything was laid out back then.
Yeah, and again, there's only so many photos. Yep. I spent a good chunk of yesterday and this morning trying to find more information on Hungarian tanks in World War II. And, there's some photos, which is great, but they're black and white. That's not the best. That's not the best reference.
I've been thinking about, which I'm not thinking about. I am going to do it. I've just got to figure out how is the best way to do it. I really want there, back in Belgium, especially in Bastogne, a lot of the buildings might have had like some type of art painted on the side of them or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to come up with the stickers to do that. So it's not just a brick built building. I want to show a lot of detail. So that'll be one of the things that sticker wise that I'm going to try to figure out.
Super cool. You can also, there are setups for ink jetting your own water slide decals. I don't know if you've looked into that, but that's
I was gonna do this. I was gonna do the stickers over the decals just because the simple fact that I would want to be able to take it off.
Sure. I mean, the water slide decals aren't super permanent, not unless you paint over them.
Stud says that sometimes he cuts hot dogs in half and uses hamburger buns. He doesn't discriminate. That's never done that.
Hey. Shout outs to Jesse's Brick Galaxy.
What's up, Jesse, my dog?
Jesse. We got Jesse and Dan Black in the house.
We got Jesse, Dan, Stud, and Brick Hive.
Yeah, we saw a little comment from Brick Hive up there. I don't know about.
You see what happened this last Sunday?
No, the only thing I know about you cutting somebody off. Are you?
No, I accidentally ended the stream.
How do you accidentally end the stream?
So my Wi-Fi went out because it was a big storm. And a tree fell over and knocked out our power. And so I was down at the bottom of the hill, filming with my phone, acting like a news reporter, we're alive here on, whatever. And I'm like, well, I got to head out. I got to go talk to the firemen. And I, instead of hitting or just closing out the thing, I hit the red button, which is leave studio at the bottom, which on the phone is end stream on the bottom. And so out of habit, I just hit, that's it. I'm like, oh no.
Did they all get it back up and going?
No.
Oh, it was just done.
Yeah, it was just done.
Man.
It's a lot to put up a new thing and start it up again. Everyone was very confused on what happened.
Yeah, the best part about it though was Hive was giving you crap about having old Brick Babe internet. And all of a sudden, the whole thing died.
All of a sudden, everyone lost power.
It's probably a good idea to just end every stream on a cliffhanger. Oh no, he's got a gun. And then stream ends. Yeah. And tune in next week to see what happened on.
Well, with saying that, I couldn't find the video. I just stood there. I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see the outro. I don't see the outro.
I was trying to say, Jesse said, we joke about that all the time. How do I leave in broadcast, right? So, because on a computer, obviously, is what I'm used to. So it's in the upper right-hand corner.
Yeah.
And it mine.
And it's a big button.
Yeah, and it just says end stream. The thing that I've never understood is I don't know, Slam, y'all don't use StreamYard at all, do you?
We don't, no.
So when you're live and you click end stream, on my end, it takes an extra 5 to 10 seconds to actually end.
Okay.
But apparently on the YouTube side of it, when the video's there, it just stops.
So there's no casual walk away from it's just over. Drew
nailed it one time to where we ended the stream with a video, and then as soon as it came back, he hit he was just like psych, and then the whole thing ended.
Was that last week's episode?
No, that was a couple weeks ago, I believe.
I'm kind of curious to see if I can find it.
But I don't know how. I mean, I would have to
get you to copyright yourself.
I'm gonna sue you as soon as you put my liking on the internet. Lego's already done it. Lego's ripping me and you off right now.
I know.
Have you heard the joke about that, Slam?
No, I haven't.
So, hold on, I'll pull it up. So just to give you a little background, obviously I have a beard. Obviously me and Drew have been talking about this hot dog thing for quite a while.
Yep.
And Drew is actually a works in like the housing industry, in the building
construction industry.
of the houses. So a lot of the stuff he does, he normally has to wear like a hard hat. So Lego, let me pull it up again. Lego decides to come out with this delivery truck, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
All right.
People are excited for it.
It's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a really cool set. Well, the one thing they did come out with was a hot dog cart.
Yeah.
Oh, cute.
Well,
wait, that's part of this?
Yeah. Well, the hot dog cart is ran by 2 people.
Oh, they don't have it on there, do they?
They don't have that picture, no. But the construction worker and the bearded guy. So Lego actually has, here it is. Look at the box.
Just look at it. Wait. Yep. Zoom, enhance.
That right there. They stole me and Drew just chilling, eating some hot dogs.
Yep.
I
wonder if there's like a... Nah.
And then pallets and pallets of unopened Lego kits.
That's actually hot dogs.
Oh. We've got a pretty good record of using hot dogs in creative ways at Brickmania.
Well, that set apparently is that they're coming out in a new color, which is not just like the red.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't bought that set yet. I haven't been able to find it. I do kind of want it, but at the same time, it's $100 right now away from the mock.
Right.
I'm supposed to have it on Friday.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you going to donate it to the channel?
Yeah, probably not.
Man, we don't have a team player, Drew. Do you hear that?
I loud and clear. Not a company man.
City has said that he loves good brick built camo. He has a camo obsession. Yeah. Rob said that he actually knows what I'm talking about, and Costco has it for $75. City has said when the hot dog buns are sold out, I'll go buy Brand's burger buns, cut the dogs, and I'm not the only person that does it. But buns are important. I like good buns. I would rather have the hot dog without a hot dog bun than a hot dog on a hamburger bun.
Right?
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
But I also wouldn't. I don't care for the bun anyway. You can throw the bread away. Just give me the hot dog.
I had a hot dog sandwich just a couple of weeks ago. Meaning, I ran out of hot dog buns and used a hamburger bun.
When's the last time you've had a flat hot dog?
Flat hot dog, meaning you split it open and...
Bologna.
Oh, bologna? I have not heard that before. I haven't had bologna in years, friend. Years.
Me and my wife were out and about it's been about 2 months now, and I hadn't had bologna in years. And we looked, and there was just like this little food cart, and they were frying bologna. It was like fried bologna sandwiches. And I was like, I don't really want one. And they pulled a piece of bologna out, and it was like, it was thick.
Oh.
And I was like, all right, I'm buying one.
Back in. I have memories of my dad frying bologna like that. But I don't have any memories of me eating bologna like that. It was my dad. So.
Did Gene, do you got some orders for us this week?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, we're good.
Well, let's see.
Huh.
I have no idea. I don't even know what those red translucent things came in.
M-Tron.
It's just too good. Brick form.
Yeah.
Because it's like the what's it called? Where he was the mantis? Is the little mantis eyes. You don't know that?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't know who Just Too Good is?
I do, but I don't know what you're talking about. Jesse said Slave 1.
Oh. Interesting.
Can't be called Slave, Jesse. Why do people buy instructions? I will never understand.
Sticker sheets. a single minifig, and instructions.
And a base plate.
Now that's a brick. That's one of those old bricks.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love those.
They got a motorcycle with no wheels or tires.
So
they don't
before,
even have the chassis. That's just the body.
Yeah.
so Just Too Good used to, like, his logo was a mantis, and he would hide his face using like a mantis thing, and so this is what it looked like. Like that was like his card,
Oh.
Oh, okay.
and then this is like what he would look like in his videos for like a while, and like doing it with Hanlon and stuff like that. So whenever they would interview, he'd always wear the mask.
I've never seen that.
No one really knew about him, like when he was like at conventions and stuff. Only like a certain number of people like knew who he actually was, and then people kind of started figuring it out when they'd see him in videos and stuff. Like, who is this person just hanging out with Ryan?
I should start doing the exact opposite. When people like come up to me and start talking, I should just be like, who are you trying to find? I have no idea who you're talking about.
Who?
All right, I'm thinking city. We got bus stop, Octon.
I think this is City GBC.
They definitely need some GBC balls in there with some gears. They're building
Yellow Technic.
They're building a trash truck.
So Slam GBC is their answer when they have no clue.
Random assortment of Technic parts. Oh, GBC.
GBC.
Yep.
This
Oh,
is
oh, look at this
GBC.
Yeah. Boom.
That's GBC. That's got
Damn.
some.
That's GBC.
That's a house.
This is a great
A
little
lot
mock.
of white 4x4 plates.
For a lot of people use those 4x4 plates for Mills plates. So
Yep.
That's an expensive way to do Mills plates, isn't it?
I mean, technically, you're coming out It's me and Justin had this argument one time because he used 4x4 plates and 2x2 bricks, where I used 16x16 plates and 2x4 bricks. And technically, depending on where you get them from, it's actually about the same cost. But just like Lego, I guess you want to increase the numbers of that mock, so throw as many pieces in there as you can.
Well, I think in this case they're doing something, a modular or something in the city, because you got fairly earth colors there.
And some plants to put out front. And a clock. Yeah, they're definitely building a house.
Yeah. Definitely something modular style. And then a couple of random Technic parts, huh?
And some mugs.
Oh, we've narrowed it down to a coffee shop then. Yeah.
There you go.
This is not enough information to do anything. It looks like it's...
You win.
That's probably a train, though. I'm thinking it's like a tiny, like ornament-sized train. Yeah.
I think so. I could see that.
That is a good creative way to look at that.
Yep. It's wrong.
Parts of the
But
train.
there you go.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
Really? That's somebody's entire order?
Yeah.
Huh.
We get some that are just small.
Yeah.
Confusion.
So, Slam,
Oh.
what these guys get tired of hearing, we do a lot of Bionicle sales.
Fucking bonkle. Okay, can I swear on this
wow.
stream?
Bonkle.
I'm sorry.
As long as it's not too much and it's after like 10 minutes in and before
Okay.
10 minutes out.
I'm sorry. Yep. Bonkle. Bonkle's cool. Yeah.
Uncle.
So wait, somebody ordered 50 of those gray pins with that.
Yeah, the ones that have no friction ring on them so they can spin in wheels.
Yeah, but
But
somebody else.
the order right before it, look, there's 50 of them on that order too.
That's what I was getting at. I wonder if that's the same order and they just was like, oh crap.
50 more pins. Yeah. Oh, GWC. Great ball.
GWC.
I don't know where the W came from. GWC.
You want black and red, another fire truck?
That's a speed champion or something. I have no idea. That's a lot of mixture.
Yeah, oh, you got one of those? I'll take one. You got one of those? I'll take one. There's some
Another
scales.
one.
Yeah.
That's
I
Drew
love those
Mc-
parts. This is
That's
my
Drew
favorite
Mc-
collection of parts out of the whole thing so far. I would use every single piece in here.
That's Drew's
yeah.
planet.
Probably.
Huh.
Oh, they're getting ready for whatever that new.
What the heck is that brown piece? What is
This
what
piece?
is that?
It's a rock.
It's a new rock.
Yeah, it's a
jewel
new
that
rock
came
element.
out last year.
Neat.
It's in 3 colors. He bought 2 of the 3 colors.
Huh.
It also comes in, 4 colors. It comes in both of those colors, but with a trans dark pink in the middle.
The trans dark pink looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True
it
Black
actually
one
looks
said,
better than trans dark blue.
I wonder if like it's dual molding those, or if they're like
Sand.
snapped together. I want to cut one of those apart and see what's in there.
Oh god.
Oh, dude, Monocle.
Yep.
Bonkel. Lots of bonkel.
They can have it. Jesse said a D&D treasure hoard.
Yeah. There was a guy down in Omaha Brick Days that had built a battleship out of Bonkel parts. Just
Really?
just sculptural magnificence. It was super cool. It's about 3 feet
That's a
long.
ridiculously expensive battleship to build.
Yeah.
He could have
Right.
just built a real one at that point.
Yeah, probably. It probably equates to, but as far as artistry goes, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I appreciate thinking outside the box on that.
I want to say
This is neat.
that's something Ninjago.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was just thinking. I zoomed in and saw these pieces and these pieces here. And the first thing in my mind was Ninjago.
What's the shield piece in the very upper left?
That's one of
Oh,
those.
it's not. I thought it was
plate.
printed. It's just a
Yes, the plate modified.
modified plate bar on 8 sides. Blah blah blah. Something.
You got it.
Yep.
That's a waste.
Owls. This is somebody who just collects animals.
Yeah.
We know them well, and then they're like, "Oh, and also I need these Technic beams."
Yeah, I'm working on a Lambo. I need some orange.
My Lambo for my kitties.
Fire truck.
GBC fire truck.
Fire truck. Yep, that's cool.
So the cool thing about this one was people are actually buying the brick built minifigs that come in some of these sets.
Huh?
That's not a cool thing at all. The brick built
Is it?
minifig should be thrown
Is
away.
it really a minifig if it's brick built? I
It's
mean,
in the minifig category.
it's funny.
I do some of the inventory definitions for Bricklink.
Yeah.
And if it's treated as a minifig in the instructions, like a separate little build,
Sure.
then they consider it a minifig.
But that's actually not even a minifig because it's a dog, so it's technically wrong.
Yeah, but in all the
I mean, it's technically a robot.
Yeah.
In the shape of a dog. Okay, yeah. That's interesting for the categorization purposes. But once you have them sorted out, then people can shop for them easier versus just finding instructions, like sub builds of huge instructions and building them.
Mhm.
So that's neat. Huh. Fire truck.
Red, white. Okay.
Whoa. Everything's in bags. Are those all dinosaurs?
Dino.
Yep, that's how you made your money this week then.
Dinosaurus.
Yeah, somebody bought dinosaurs.
Do you ever
Duplo.
so
Now here's
Can
the mix. Duplo mixed with Bionicle. See how this Bionicle,
So it's for dad and a kid.
and there's Duplo.
Yep. You know, all the Bonko kids grew up and have had babies now. So there you go.
Bonkos.
Here's proof. That's funny. Yeah. Holy
So
crap.
random technique,
Random
thin plate,
technique.
Bionicle ball joints, and Bionicle feet and shins. Oh, those are Hero Factory shins.
They got those ripcord pieces.
Yeah, but they don't have the brick that the ripcord goes to. It's a little yellow spinner piece.
Huh. I bet those. I haven't thought about using those ripcords as something interesting in a build before, but I bet you could use them artistically to great effect.
So here's somebody that took Richard's error to a whole new level.
Holy crap.
Richard buys these accidentally 50 at a time.
What?
That's 2,500
What?
humans that somebody bought.
Jeez.
Jesus.
And it's a private school that teaches robotics.
Oh, okay.
Sure,
that makes sense.
Several times, actually, twice in.
What's your first?
No, it's not. She had one before these.
Trees.
GBC trees.
Yep. I don't know what that part is in the bottom left. What is that?
So windscreen from one of the Star Wars sets.
Huh. I should recognize that. I did.
It's got the hinges on it.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's a flip up. Oh, again, there's Ford brick built. There's a different Ford brick built.
That's awesome.
Why would anybody order a pork?
It's what's for dinner. Yeah. GBC. Either that or like vintage TIE Fighter. That's what those side pieces are originally from, I think.
Yeah. Other than a TIE Fighter, I'm not sure.
But this time of year, are you seeing lots of people like racing to get their mocks done for like Chicago and whatnot?
It's weird. We go through phases where we'll get dozens of orders in a row, and then we'll go a couple days and get 3 or 4 orders. And it's like when we get the dozens of orders in a row, there always seems to be a pattern. Like maybe somebody has released new instructions on rebrickable or something.
Sure. Yeah.
It's so weird. Some weeks we'll get on here and we'll have 20 orders that we'll randomly show. And
a couple weeks ago, everybody was ordering one gold wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
One gold wheel. It was weird.
It was like a year, maybe 2 years ago, we released our A10 Thunderbolt instructions. And the kit used 2 cement mixer parts for the engine cowlings. And when we released the instructions, there was, 400 or 500 cement mixer parts on Bricklink total. Mm-hmm. And after a couple of weeks, there were none. It was just like the rarest part in the world. And I don't know, as a Bricklink seller, do you see trends like that of like worldwide inventories just zeroing out so you can raise your prices?
Or if you just buy them out.
Or
it's usually hard to pick up on the trend until after it's happened.
Right. So they have not given you the tools to be a wolf of. Do you ever corner the market on a part? Do you ever like go through everybody else's stores and like buy their 1s and 2s of the last remaining parts and then jack prices?
No. We get pissed at people that do that too. there are people that they'll have 3 of a part, and it won't necessarily be a hard to find part, but they'll price it so ridiculously high that it screws up the averages for the rest of us.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do hate that as well. But if nobody else had the part, then it would be a fair price.
I get that. That's what I do. If you've got, 200,000 of that part in circulation right now.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody has, 1,500 of them priced at 10 times the normal average, it screws the average for everybody.
Right.
So,
that's what I do. I go find a piece that I need and buy all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Richard does do that.
I do. There was, the Zipline piece?
Yeah.
It has like 2 round, it's kind of like a rubber piece. Last year, I believe it. I believe it was last year. I found out they did them in dark green. I bought every single one in the United States.
Nice.
Now there's more out there, but at the time I had owned all of them. I have an obscenely large amount of masonry bricks.
Why? But there's an insanely high number of masonry bricks out there in use and in in circulation. It's one of the most popular parts around.
Yeah,
very true.
Like pick-up bricks can't keep them on the wall for more than an hour or 2. So this guy's building a castle, some kind of thing.
Castle, like a seaside medieval house, or I think it's part of a medieval village attached to a castle.
Yeah.
Some kind of
Again, another brick-built minifig.
I don't know who ordered that one. Richard.
Yeah, that was me. but hold on a minute, Slam. Can you guess what that is? What the pieces are for?
That looks like a Mario. Is that Luigi?
Not the minifig, but what are the pieces for?
Oh, the rest of it. I mean, it's Star Wars, obviously, but no, is it?
No.
Man, big old plates.
Mania.
Oh yeah, look at that. I see it now based on all the wheels. That's too many drive gears for one tank.
Yeah, it's not one tank, it's two.
Yeah. Huh. Sure.
Had to get them Wolverine.
One beefy arm. Awesome.
Yeah. It's one of the
that beefy arm in a different color about broke me and Drew's internet for a while.
That's a pretty panel piece.
That's a cool print.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool print. And it's print, it's not a sticker, it's a print.
Yeah, it's a sticker.
But still,
you can see the edges.
Yep.
And the fuzz caught in it.
Yep.
Gee, thanks, Gene.
Huh.
Try to get my hair out.
It's got a barrel and a couple of rock pieces, some chains.
Me and Drew seen somebody use one of those arms and hands as a sculpture piece and someone carving it out. So now every time I see one, that's what I think.
I could see embedding it in a landscape, like using it as rock work. That'd be kind of neat. Again, not a printed part. That's a sticker of some kind. Yep. This is such a tiny order.
Yeah.
But it's the important thing there. It's the stud with bar on the backside. That's a great useful part. I just found out there's two different heights of that thing.
Oh yeah. There's a short and a tall.
Yep.
These are talls. On the short, this bar is almost flush with the top of the stud.
Yep. Hey, it's Andreas just joined the chat. Andrea as well.
A lot of people use those things for just minifigure effects.
Bionicle.
Bonkel.
Yeah, I don't Bionicle.
Bionicle.
That's pretty.
That's a cool color.
Mm-hmm.
Lightsaber wands.
I want to see this when it's done, whatever it is.
Yeah, really nice.
I mean, that's essentially a spaceship engine builds right there. That's what you need to build the back end of a spaceship.
I bought all my trans purple bars.
Yeah.
So if anybody has any more trans purple bars, send them to Tori, care of Camel City Brick House.
And what the heck is that bar? I don't know.
She said we're out of them.
That's a pneumatic hose.
Yeah, with pneumatic tees also.
Yeah.
In Slam, there's two versions of this also. There's one that doesn't have this bulb in the middle, where it's a straight T.
Huh. All right.
Those are pricey.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's building. What might he be building?
That's a helicopter.
Who knows a he?
Oh.
I'm assigning gender to a builder. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no experience with power functions. Like, what the heck motor is that? Is it a motor?
That's just a battery box.
No.
That's the on-off switch. That's where the power comes out of the battery box.
So many of those battery boxes get like corroded because people like pack them away with batteries in them, right?
Yeah.
Possible.
We do. Our store's about 90%, 95% used. And so when we get stuff like this, we have to scrutinize it pretty heavy.
Yeah.
We throw away quite a few of them. If they're not in horrible shape, you can wash them down with lemon juice, and it'll take a lot of the corrosion off of it. So,
and then it smells better too. Yep.
Well, then you got to wash it. Get rid of that lemon.
Rich, would you say that's GBC?
I mean, I definitely think.
Yeah, it's definitely GBC.
Wait a minute.
Oh, I really thought that was going to go for a whole minute. Oh, shit. Yeah, okay.
So that's it.
That's it.
People's orders are so random and weird. I'll never understand how some people order things. compared to like how I order them. I'm over here getting like 10,000 pieces at a time.
Right.
Yo, what's up, Andrea? ASAP Animation.
What's up? What's up?
Speaking of Brickmania designers,
I would like to say that's the Brickmania crew.
yeah, that's my support network. Both from Europe. On ASAP Animations from Norway, and Andrea is from Italy, and they are both in town for World War Brick.
Nice.
And
Which is a great transition for me to plug my convention. Yes.
How is that convention going? Like, are y'all set up? Are you ready? Because you start tomorrow, right?
Is tomorrow official? Yeah, people start showing up tomorrow. We already have a couple people showing up that have shown up early to volunteer. And what's crazy about us putting a convention on, period, is that our regular work is still happening at the same time. So, like, for all of us that have 40 hours of work to do each week, like, we also are expected to prepare a convention and get it ready. And it's a little bit tricky. It's a little bit hard. And are we ready to go? Mostly. There's been a couple hiccups. Like, I had a order of 5,000 2x2 white tiles from Lego Bestsellers that are probably not going to come in until Monday. We got the first box, which had 500 tiles and a bunch of other support pieces, but so that project is currently in limbo.
Was it something you needed for the convention?
It's yeah. I mean, is it super important? No, but it was for the convention.
Next year, Andreas and all them better be up there because I'm making a 15-hour drive.
Dang.
Not like they flew across the country or anything.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. See, but if you drive, then you can bring huge mocks. You can
There you go.
bring the battleship. You can bring.
Well, I'm planning to bring Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
I mean, you've got a good head start. It should be done by next year this time.
Well, next week, whatever. I mean, it'll be.
So, anyways, yeah, World War Brick starts officially Friday, and it's open to the public Saturday and Sunday. As far as Lego conventions goes, it's very tiny, but it's purely military, so it's a pretty cool event. And
that's one of the things that kind of surprises me about you not going to Virginia, because Virginia is very heavily military.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Like I've heard all the stories.
You're too good to come down south.
I've never been asked to go, and it's just an oversight.
Well, of course, they need somebody to work.
Somebody has to hold down the fort, and it's not me. It's never me. I'm not responsible enough to hold down anybody's fort. But
as soon as Dan walks out of the door, somebody's texting him, "We can't get Slam to do anything."
He's just not responsible enough to do anything. Yeah. Famously have ADHD and super happy to like deep dive on a new project every week, or 3 new projects every week, and then forget everything about it, forget that it existed, move on to the next cool thing. Yeah,
that's I think that runs in all of us.
It's pretty common, yeah, around the workplace, my workplace at least. Yeah, within the Lego community also. Yeah,
I mean, the castle was supposed to be taken out of the box, put back together on the table, so I could do like videos, pictures, get more like stuff done, like redesign a couple things, and it's not happening at all. It's staying in the boxes because I've started this, and it goes at the end of this month to Raleigh, North Carolina for a convention, and there is a base plate that is not finished yet that I will have to finish there. ASAP World War Bricks, Texas.
What about World War Brick, Texas?
That's what ASAP
does. I think he's just saying that because he wants to go back to Buc-ee's.
He flies all the way across country to go to a Buc-ee's.
It was like one of the first stops. Yeah.
I was going to say, they must not have anything too crazy over in Europe.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was Andrea that went to Buc-ee's, not Andreas.
Oh,
sorry. Yeah. Well, he was really impressed that they had something like 300 gas pumps. It kind of blew his mind. So, which Buc-ee's was that? Somewhere in Kentucky or something.
the one in Tennessee is the largest one right now, and it's 120 pumps.
Yes, sir.
That must have been the one. Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's
Congratulations, Drew. Y'all got the world's largest.
we got the biggest bussy.
Y'all got the largest gas station. I've never been to a Buc-ee's.
I love it. I never go to it because they're always so far away. The closest one's like an hour from me in Georgia, but they got good snacks. But I'm not a fan of their brisket sandwiches. I was disappointed this last time.
In the brisket sandwiches?
Yeah.
Why?
It just maybe I grabbed one that's been sitting there for too long or something, but I was disappointed.
Oh, they're good.
Maybe I saw how much they were making, and I was like, that they can't be making that much money at Buc-ee's.
Andreas said World War Brick Australia.
That's just a logistical nightmare. Jeez, how do we do that? We would need to find
everyone across country.
We have to sell like a franchise to a bunch of Aussies and let them put on a World War Brick. Yeah, but that would be expensive.
Drew, you want to show off some of these mocks?
Oh, roll them.
Come on here just to hang out with you.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't think any other way to spend your Wednesday night. That's just how you do it.
That is true. I have no life besides with you.
Exactly. Because my life would be nothing without you.
You complete me.
Man, that's crazy. I just want to let you know that there's half of me out there and it's just sitting in Tennessee.
It could stand.
That's my shut up and get on with the show.
Are we Rochambeauing it?
Yeah, always.
Like Gene finally found out how to press a button.
Am I involved in this?
No. I mean, you can be, but it's just me and Drew. I always lose, so it's whatever.
We always do a little.
Hey, Richard, which button should I be pushing? This red one up here in the right corner?
Yeah.
All right, you ready? Rock, paper, scissors, show.
Every time.
Rock, paper, scissors, show.
Wow.
I guess I get to go first for the first time in forever. It's crazy. Let's see here.
I like how my camera keeps out of focusing and then focusing really fast.
We got our first one. Only one picture. But I think I found the same kind of guy that does what you were talking about last week, man.
Ooh.
That's some crazy rock work. It's really
right.
smooth.
It's really great.
Oh, another big brick built.
Yes.
That's cool.
Look, you like his little skis there?
I really want to know what they did. Is there the limb pieces for the brush things for his beard?
Yes. And those are the single tracks for little accents on his coat.
Nice.
I like the dog. Is that Bluey?
Well, Bluey's blue. But,
so no.
So that would
Brownie?
be a no.
This looks like
that was a lie.
Andreas walking to work, skiing to work.
There you go.
Yep. It's not Andreas's dog though. Wrong color. This is a beautiful mock. I love everything about this. I love that tree. I love the rock work. I love the dudes. It's a great hat. Dog is fantastic.
But does it have a hot dog in it?
Oh, zoom enhance. Does it have a hot dog?
Drew's computer can't zoom all the way
Well,
in.
this is as far as Google Drive lets me to zoom. I see no dogs. Well, I do see a dog. That is a hot dog right there. It's even the color of a hot dog.
Dog. That's a dog.
But it's obviously a winter scene. It's probably a cold dog. It does not count.
But this guy looks like he could start a fire pretty easily. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of thick too, so he's not starving.
No, he ain't starving. He had a couple of dogs in him.
What's everybody in the chat think?
I love that he has there's snow, but then on the underside he also added the leaves that are not dead yet. You notice that?
Did.
It's got some Random macaroni all over the place. I'm not sure about the random macaroni.
He's got Iron Man's heart there too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
At least we'll know he'll live forever.
He's got an arc reactor.
Well, that kind of makes me like him a little less, because that just means he'll survive through anything.
Right?
So why is he wearing all his clothes?
I don't know. It's a great question. Jesse says 11.
Yeah, this is top notch in my book. This can win a big convention pretty easily.
Renee said a solid 10.
Solid 10. Despite the lack of hot dog and Panzers,
Yes.
I'll give it a 10. It's
Very
got a
true.
good dog. Dogs make up for it.
I'm more like a 9, but that's just me.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
You would be honest, I like the rock work better than I do the brick built fig.
Really?
I love the fig.
Yeah, I disagree. It's a great fig. I love that scale. That scale of figure is just cool.
It's big. Dan said he's not paying attention. Just listen as I can try to get this third board done for Brick.
Oh, Dan is here. Yeah. Cool.
That's different Dan.
Oh, Dan Black. Okay.
Yeah, I'm at a 9.
9. Points for the beard, though, as Jesse says.
But I get, I mean,
beard is great. The hat's great.
It's gonna get a 10 either way. Y'all all gave it a 10.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 10.
Yeah.
I'm jacked up now, bro. Where's that sausage?
All right, next one. We got this cool dragon build using the Mario shells.
Oh, fun. Nice parts usage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
We got a frog. We got
That's
a
creative right
arm
there.
and hand.
That's really simple.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks good though. I can't figure out what this piece is.
Yeah, what the heck is that?
I was about to. It kind of almost looks like a clamshell.
Yeah, I can't figure that out.
Huh.
One part guy, Gene.
Come
What
on,
is it?
Gene. That.
White tail.
I can't tell. And I'm looking at the scale of the claws on the back feet. It's a pretty big build.
Mm-hmm.
I just
And
clamshells don't come that big, but the nostril hair is whips, right?
Yep.
yep. Or are
No,
No, it's not
No.
a whip because the
there's a
tongue.
whip down at the tongue.
Yeah, this is the whip.
Yeah.
This is like a flex tube.
mm-hmm.
These are like
deformed
grandma
flex
hair
tube.
pieces. That's pretty cool.
Look at the minifig hands using his teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A minifig arm right here.
So is that some kind of hat in the background?
It's
Or
gotta
on
be.
the tail? Is that like a
Is it a barnacle piece?
I have no idea.
That's what I'm wondering.
well, it's nice. I
Jeff
like this.
said that he's seen a tree with them using them turtle shells. Also,
This is so much better than the gift with purchase thing from last weekend.
don't you ever diss anything that Lego puts out?
Nazgul.
Naz gross.
Naz. Yeah.
Slam, your dog barking's got our dog looking around for who's barking.
And growling.
She's
I
growling.
apologize. We're now well past my dog's playtime. Like we usually spend a good half hour out in the backyard. I kind of knew this was going to happen. And
Battlefield says 7 on this one.
7. Okay.
yep, I'll give it a 7 too.
Yeah,
I
I'm
kind of
good
wish
with
you'd have varied the whole body away from turtle shells.
Yeah.
I think it needs to have a step down, but
Sure.
It's too linear. I mean, even the curves, it's too linear because it's all the same size.
that. Jesse says it's digital.
huh? Yep, I could see that.
Wait, how do they connect the? It's got to be digital. How do they connect the back legs?
Oh, you can see the little bar pieces right here.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, the
Is
little
that what
black
that
piece
is?
right there.
I don't.
I'm gonna say a 7.
I could hit it with a 7.
Okay.
I feel like it's a cool technique. It's a good idea. It gets the image.
Ah, oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Oh,
Yes. Yep. Okay. Then we got this one,
ooh.
That's really cool.
right?
Look at how less creepy those eyes are than most things that Lego
Right?
puts out with eyeballs.
Well, and the beak is like the what's that
Is that a
called? Like
banana?
Pinocchio's hat.
Oh,
yeah.
sure. Yep.
And the chest is a bionicle foot.
Yep.
Okay.
That's really cool.
Creative use of Bonkel.
Green things are
Look at the
bad.
even different variation in the knuckle, not knuckles, but the
Claws.
Yeah.
Yes, Tori just pointed out the same green pointed pieces are bionicle claws.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't recognize those as Lego elements either, so that makes sense.
This
So,
almost looks studio, but I know it's not.
What's behind the boat studs for the eyes?
couple of dishes, orange in
No, between the dish and the eye.
oh,
See, it's
That's-
squared corner.
that's a
on
really good
one side
question.
and rounded.
So this is a 1x1, and then the curved tile piece.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So
look.
I
something
can
up.
I
No.
can see it close enough, but you guys can't. But there's a slit right there and a slit right there to prove that that's a
I can see it
1x1.
now.
okay, so that's a boat tile, inverted boat tile
Mhm.
on top of two like dots, 1x1s, and then okay, cool.
Yeah.
The hat, is that the same hat that's on the Forceman?
Yeah, I think so.
Then that's fake because it never came in yellow.
Well, unless it's Pinocchio's hat.
Pinocchio.
It looks more
Yeah.
like Pinocchio's hat.
Let me see.
Somebody quick bring up Pinocchio. Yeah.
That's what I'm looking up now.
Because it'd be pretty hard to get that sticker piece. And you can see the reflection of their window that they're using for lighting.
But the Pinocchio's hat has blue and red on it.
Hmm.
And the
There it is.
hairpiece is molded to it.
Oh,
No. I can see it right now. It's the fox guy from
from Robin Hood. It's
yeah.
Robin Hood from
I can
Robin
see
Hood.
the fox. I can see the eye right there.
Oh, yep, yep.
Oh, it's even got the head attached to it. Oh, sure.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
brilliant.
That's super great. Oh, this is pretty well done.
To
I
me,
hope that
that's
head spins
appealing.
all the way
I mean,
around.
it's the shape is great, coloration's great,
What's
use of
going on,
parts is
Will?
great.
I'm down to give this thing like a. It really reminds me of the Yoda build.
This is the owl that swivels.
Like
Oh,
this could easily be a
it's
Lego
Oh,
set.
really?
Yeah,
It could. Yeah, this is up there with like Tuxedo Cat. It can go in the same line. Yeah.
Jesse,
I'm down to say this one to a 9.
Jesse says the head swivels.
Renee says 11.
Yeah, I'm good for a 9.
I'm at a 10 on this.
What's going
What about
on,
you,
Richie?
Sam?
I'm going back and forth on this one. I think I'd give this a 10. I'm gonna give it a 10.
10?
I can't imagine how it could be improved. Like
Yeah.
the open studs on the lower half is a great piece of texture work. Like this
Mhm.
this builder knows what they're doing.
Well, let's
All
hit
right.
it with that 10 then.
Dang it.
Very impressive.
I'd hoped you would be pleased.
For 66, yeah. You grab a part and you just start staring at it, and then the whole thing comes off of it. That's cool.
Then this one is done by Lego for their new game. I had to put this in there.
Oh my God. Do we even need to discuss this?
No, it's an 11.
Hit it with a truckload of 10s and just go move on.
Hold on. We gotta.
Yeah.
Of course, that movie clip was before Han Solo found the Millennium Falcon.
Right.
So, I mean, the best part of this is that it has a roll cage and it's obviously 4-wheel drive. I mean, it's just got everything. It's got condiments in a variety.
It's also shooting. If you look on the left and the right side, it looks like out of the what would be a muffler, one side is shooting ketchup and the other side is shooting mustard.
Well, it only needs the one side of mustard, but that's fine. That's great. Yeah,
we don't need mustard at all.
That's all. I think that's all.
That one's digital. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in their it's in their new have you ever played like Hill Climber or something like that? Like on an iPhone?
I have not.
It's like this game where like you drive a Jeep and you can keep upgrading and try to do all these different levels. Well, Lego made their version with Hill Climber. And it's not as fun. I tried. As Lego, they ruined it.
Wouldn't recommend.
Yep.
I walked in and I said, wow, this game sucks. I wouldn't have made a game that sucks that bad.
Let me go ahead and bring up. First off, we have Mr. Lazy Brix's Vietnam.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, those trees are amazing. Super great.
So much foliage going on. And I love how he did the. I don't really care so much for it on the side view, but I love that that's the water with like just the. I guess
the marsh.
The marsh on top, yeah.
Yeah, rice paddy. That is absolutely great. Like anytime somebody leaves tracks behind their vehicles is just fantastic. Like torn up grass, torn up snow. I have not seen it done with water, and that's really, really cool. Everybody loves a good N113. Wait, what are these guys looking at? Everybody's looking at something.
I think this might be a prisoner.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But he's still got his gun on him.
Oh.
They're wearing the same color, too.
Yeah. He's got a microphone and a camera.
We're live from Bearded Bricks.
Yep. Lazy Bricks. Ooh.
Nice
that face.
I love this.
Is that Scarecrow face in the background?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's cursed. Whatever it is. Oh.
Womp, 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 womp. Man, they buy them U-clips.
Look at that. Yeah. U-clips are one of the most useful parts that Lego never made. They're so great.
I really like the
I gotta ask. Well, I guess no. I guess that's something else. Because there's that train company that's getting sued right now by Lego.
Oh yeah, HA Bricks, I think they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brick Mania has never fallen into that category because you guys mold your own pieces, right?
No, we don't. We are again Lego customs, so everything is genuine Lego. Aside from the additional pieces, like
that's what I'm talking. Like I know all the sets are genuine, but like the tracks and like U-clips, that's not necessarily falling under how HBB trains or whatever did, where they modified the brick by adding in that ring or whatever.
Right.
Okay.
I don't think we've ever done anything where we modify a brick like that.
Okay. Gotcha.
Most of our weaponry is made by a company called Brick Arms. We make tracks. We're not the biggest manufacturers of plastic, but we do a lot of 3D printing.
Okay. Cool.
So, and that lawsuit has definitely scared. Like, we were watching that because that's just bad news for the entire customs market. It's not just us, but it could affect the whole industry. I mean, dense foliage, great trees.
I mean, I really like it. I love the. I mean, from far away, you can definitely tell the story of the I guess things coming in.
Yeah.
I like the rubber bands on the boxes.
I really like the luggage. The luggage is one of the coolest things.
Yeah, that's absolutely great.
But I was down to give this an 8, 9.
I I'd give it an 8.5.
I wish the border would cover this up, but I also at the same time like the fact that you can see it. But if there was a border where it's exposed, I still feel like you would see it.
I think if they could have done it like that, if they added roots growing down,
Yeah,
that would have made a difference.
because to me, all these 1x1s that are stacked up, that just seems really it seems really fragile. But
Well, I'll give this a solid 9. And the only reason I'm not going higher on it is that it's not a very ambitious mock. It's just a couple of vehicles driving down a road. So, yeah. And honestly, Vietnam doesn't really afford for that much more ambitious of mocks. It's, Yeah.
Battlefield said give him all the dogs. This man is legendary.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely good. It's one of the best Vietnam mocks I've seen.
I'm going to hit it with a 9.
Cool.
I love it when that thing comes over his head.
Next, I actually have another one from the same guy.
Ooh.
Because the one main thing was this right here was like what drew me to it. But for bayonets, he literally has a Lego gun with a Lego like knife rubber banded.
That's fantastic. That's the way it should be.
But like that is just so much detail.
Oh, look at the guy getting jumped from the explosion back there. That's fun. Good use of ice cream. Good color work on the flames.
But this is World War One, and I don't see too many World War One.
It's pretty rare.
But I mean, I think it's a really cool. It's chaos everywhere you look.
So the what's hard to judge about a mock like this is how attached is everything. Like, are things just gravity set in there, or are they locked down?
There's a lot of stuff in there that'd be hard to lock.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like the big wall pieces might be.
Mm-hmm.
All this looks like it just sit in there, though.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not as a fan of this one as the other one.
I'm not either, but it was just the fact that it was like World War I. I had really not seen a lot of stuff. I really liked it, like the fire explosion areas. The man getting blown away is really cool. But I really like the detail.
The wall work is great. This guy knows how to randomize and build loose. I like that. Hey, bud.
I mean, like that's a minifigure leg.
Oh yeah, look at that.
But I'm down to give this thing. I was thinking this thing was maybe around like a 7.
Yeah, I'm like.
I have to kick my dog out 1 second. All right. Yep, 7 sounds good to me too. Also.
Let's hit it with that 7 then. What does everybody in the comments think? Oh, Battlefield says this is actually Warhammer 40K based.
Oh.
Really?
Whoa.
I didn't know Warhammer was military. I thought it was like fantasy.
Oh, it's definitely military. Yeah.
Aren't they Marines anyway? Like, isn't 40K like the big group? Aren't they the Space Marines?
Or is that StarCraft? Yeah.
I thought it was 40K. Renee says 7. Battlefield says 8. What do you say, Drew?
I still say 7.
I'm at a 7.
Let's hit it with that 7.
It's just.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
And then next up,
Okay.
we
So
got
it's-
Brick Productions.
Nice.
Okay.
And Brick Productions sent us this. This is like his 3rd or 4th one in here.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the figs, but other than the fig placement, I don't really understand what's going on.
Yeah. I will say his mocks are getting better and better each time.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's not much of a story in this one.
What's up, Lego History Sam?
Hey. Yeah. Yeah, Sam. I'm looking forward to seeing you too. And yeah, did you get everything all wrapped up? All your builds good to go? So this is just a checkpoint, it looks like.
Yeah, but the
built?
snow, if this was a checkpoint, even though it's obviously snow, the snow wouldn't be on the ground that way. There would be some type of vehicle tracks through
Be
there.
Yep,
muddy.
absolutely.
20 ships headed up north. Wow, Sam.
Sam is legendary. Like one of the best shipbuilders out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep trying to. He keeps sending me ideas of ships he needs to build, and I'm like, dude, I want you to build one big. Like, don't micro scale it. Build it huge.
Yeah, this one's a 6 for me. I think it's getting a lot better each week. Like it's improving a lot. Like putting studs on the side, that's looking good.
Right. Yep, studs out. But we could tile the roof. The road could have tracks. Like there just could be a lot more to it.
Could be different color.
Yep, it's a good start. It's a good start though.
It's a great start.
And just remember that a lot of the times, you're not going to see too many white buildings.
Well, I think you got the roof and the walls backwards. The roof should be white.
Yeah, and the building should
and
be
the building should be black.
Yeah, but I'm down with a 6.
Yeah.
So, historical reproduction stuff is that titanium white paint didn't really come into being until the 40s. So, and that's the bright white paint that we have now. Otherwise, the best I had before the 40s was like off-white, like old yellow, old Lego
light
tan. So, and then the Soviet Union and Eastern Bloc countries still didn't get titanium white until the 80s.
Yeah.
So all the times you see photos and video, like movies from like the Eastern Bloc, is like, why is everything just so dingy looking? It's like, oh, they didn't have the good bright paints.
Right.
They weren't American.
Right. So that's just like a fun historical thing.
America.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So the whitewash building would need to be built with old Lego, and then the snow would be
bright
white and gray. Yep.
Next up is our resident killer of everything, Mr. Battlefield Bricks.
Battlefield Bricks.
Battlefield Bricks. Yeah.
And this is so he built a couple of. It was about a month ago now, I guess, maybe more. But he built a hangar with a Spitfire in it, and he said he wasn't happy with the Spitfire, so he pulled the Spitfire out and redone it.
Nice.
He said he completely rebuilt the fuselage and everything else.
Hey.
Now, didn't he show the Spitfire the night Dan was on?
I believe, maybe.
Yeah, I remember Dan talking about wing shape and a couple other things.
But I mean, to me, it's 100% spot on in my opinion.
Whoa! Look at what's going on with that wing. It's actually rocked back a little bit. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's smart. I also really like the propeller, like the double.
The ninja sword.
Again, modified plate with the bar holders, and yeah, that's a cool part. I've got only a couple of those in my inventory. But yeah.
And then using the soup bowl as the front of the nose.
I still love how he puts the dish in the front to make it look like the propellers are spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done. The stickers on the leading edge of the wings are pretty cool because they've got the blowouts from the machine guns being fired.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, it's a nice build. I'm going to abstain from voting because I don't want to hurt Andrea's feelings.
Well,
I work with professional Spitfire builders. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. We always hit him with the.
Bombs away!
I feel like in a heavy bombardment like that, like the last 4 or 5 dogs out of the plane wouldn't have buns because the bun count didn't match up with the dog count.
What you should have done as a joke is sent me like 2 or 3 of like Andres' builds and like us just kill him. Just be like, dude, this is horrible.
This
Who's
is just
We don't even we don't usually like show bad things, but that was
That's a 5th floor problem.
Not in my house. Not today.
You know,
dogs.
Not being an expert builder myself, but just working with expert builders, like there's things I appreciate about a good plane build, and that's like the slight cant to the wings, the dihedral. And I don't think I've seen the wings tucked back like that done before. So that was nice to see something new.
Yeah.
Well done.
I don't. If you could build a vehicle, you can build a vehicle. I cannot. Like, I could maybe after as many tanks as I've put together build a tank. But the thing is, it's because I have all the knowledge of how somebody else has designed it. So all I would be doing is changing basically like the layout of what they've done.
Right. But I hate to break it to you, but all the artists out there have learned by
I was going to say
figuring out how people
they
did
figured
things,
it out.
repeating until it's natural, and then move on to the next one. And like anybody who you look at and say, "Oh, you're so talented," they've worked their asses off to get there. So
yeah,
so to me, when it comes to, I'll use Brick Mania as an example. I've built. I think I have I'm wanting to say I'm somewhere in like the 40 or 50 range of vehicles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you like going through the whole. This is how I found out about you, by the way. It's like you were going through and building everything from bricks in the sand, and I have never seen anybody do that. It's so cool.
So I bought the book, and I'd already had the Abrams,
mm-hmm.
and at the same time, I had already planned to do the Battle of the Bulge, and I hadn't talked to Dan or anything about it yet. And I was like, well, when I buy the Bricks in the Sand, I'm going to buy the Battle of the Bulge book. And I got the book and looking through it, and I was kind of really upset at first or not upset, don't get me wrong, but I was like, a lot of these things have been like upgraded to what they look now. Like if you look into my comments on anything I post about the Battle of the Bulge mock, people are talking about how the 4x4 ambulance, how I have it, but the other Jeeps I have are built the old style. And they're like, man, why don't you convert them all to new? And I'm like, well, I kind of want there to be a variation. You know, everything wasn't the same back then. Like it really wasn't. There was a lot of different stuff. And I was like going through.
Except with Jeeps.
Do what?
Jeeps were identical. I mean, if we're talking Shermans, yeah, there's a lot of different models of Shermans, but.
And I was messaging Dan, and I was like, so how do I get like the parts list for these builds out of the book? And he was like, talking to me back and forth. And I was like, well, nothing's really working. And he was like, he told me to do something. And he was like, but that'll just bring up the parts for all of them. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, I really want to build the Paladin. And then I was like, the Paladin and the Challenger 2 were like the top 2 that I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's good.
How much would it really cost if I just did all of them? So I sat down and I pretty much, what I did was I built them in studio using the instructions.
Oh, sure.
And then I converted that over to a wanted list.
Well, that's smart. Okay. I mean, time consuming, but smart.
Oh, it was very time consuming. But it was easier than going through the book saying, hey, I need 10 of these 1x1s. It was just it worked really well. And I ended up I don't know, I always screw up somehow and over order pieces. So I had like a crap ton of tan stuff left over. And then I seen that y'all came out with the April flyer or the May flyer. And I seen the Hets and the Hercules were coming in there. And I was like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and do that too. So I was actually going to do a video on just kind of how I rate the builds in the book. And I was going to go ahead and start filming stuff about it and start talking stuff. And I got the Challenger, I got the Abrams, and I got the Paladin knocked out. And I started on the BMP, and when else were coming. So I'm actually going to build the Hetz and the Hercules before I do it, and then this could go with it type thing.
Awesome.
Because I don't know. I was never over there, and I don't know if the Hetz were over there, but I know that's how we get Abrams around here.
Yeah.
I don't know if over there they were part of what we used. Because I would assume the tanks just drove out of the back of the cargo carriers at that point, right?
That's a really good question. I would assume they would need to have Hetz and Hercules just to pick up disabled, broken ones and get them back to where they need to be. Because what else are you going to do? Drag it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I imagine it was out there, like anywhere you're servicing.
Well, Abrams never. I'm definitely going to build the Hetz and the Hercules. And now what people are telling me to do is go back and buy Bricks in the Sand 1 and do what's in there too. And if I wasn't doing the Battle of the Bulge, I probably would.
You got time. The books will be there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've already got the book. Well, I've got the book. I haven't started anything else though. So my next goal with everything is to build the 6 Shermans. After I do the Tiger 2s are built, but what I want to do with the Tiger 2s is go back and add snow on top of them.
Nice. Yep.
And I don't know if I'm going to do it as replacing some parts with some white pieces or adding a little like leveling to it, or if I want to show, a lot of the times back then they basically used like I forgot what they called it, but like the ghillie suit where it was just like a bunch of camouflage netting that they pulled over the vehicles.
Yeah. The Germans used like it's essentially a fishing net with some heavier ropes like run diagonally through it. And they just load it up with grass and trees and branches and stuff.
So I don't know if I'm going to put those on top or if I'm actually going to do some serious snow on some of the tanks. But the Shermans, then the tanks, then I will end up redoing the Jeeps. I'm going to buy all the pieces to make sure they all match the new 4x4.
All right. That's a worthy effort. I mean, I love the old designs. They're fun and easy. And,
The only thing I don't like about the 4x4 is I'm going to have to figure out how to do it with the window somehow.
Yeah.
Because the 4x4 doesn't have an option to attach that window piece at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll think of something. Then it's on to the M18s, and then I've got to start getting next will be like another German. I think I'm going to do I don't know. I've got 4 American half tracks and then 1 meat chopper.
Nice.
And I think what I'm going to do is 3 of the German half tracks. And I'm going to build those in the same way I did the Tigers, where every piece of every camouflage pattern is different.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, there's a huge variety of those German half tracks too, like anti-tank guns, anti-aircraft guns, ambulances. Yep, just
I've got I bought the instructions to do what are they called? The SDFKZ.
SDKFZ, yeah.
Which
is just almost every vehicle in the German army is a KFZ of some kind. So SDKFZ, and then series of numbers, like it's all very German. Yeah.
Well, I've got when y'all released the instructions to build I think there was like 3 different models. Mm-hmm. I know like the 251 and then the one that has like the Stug.
Yep.
I built all 3.
Oh, nice.
So what I'm probably gonna do is just use those instructions and then I guess tune them to where they're camouflaged.
Drew, no, his battery's exhausted.
It doesn't take every time.
We're past time. Oh no.
It happens every single time. These batteries only last for an hour and a half. Right on time.
Yeah. Boom. Yeah, and then after that, I'll hopefully. I don't know. I don't want to overcrowd it with vehicles, but I have also seen in the past where some of the big military mocks are like the Vietnam mock. Like 2 tanks was kind of perfect for that.
Yeah, absolutely, right.
But I've seen bigger with like 2 tanks, and the forest. I need some vehicles in the forest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, very few places in World War II had massive vehicle engagements. I mean, like on the Eastern Front, you absolutely had it, but Normandy and whatnot, like it's pretty rare that like vehicles went up against vehicles. Like aside from the movie Fury, which is awesome and not real, but yeah.
Fury is an extremely good movie.
It's an extremely good movie. Very popular.
Very.
We've had some fun making tanks from the Fury tank. I think we've made 2 full-size versions of that, and then we just made a micro brick battle tiny tank.
Yeah.
I printed on the side of a lightsaber for the first time. Put Fury on both sides.
One of the coolest things that I have seen lately, just a random video that I was watching one night when I was building, is they did a thing. It wasn't too long ago, and I'm pretty sure it was at the Tank Museum, where they went and talked to the guy, and the guy was telling him about how he didn't really want to release the In the Mood tank to them. And because they didn't want it to mess up, they didn't want it to they wanted to preserve it.
Mm-hmm.
And they finally were like, okay, if you could do it, but our guy is coming with you to watch you on every little bit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we've got a running joke about all the misused tank. And it's not a joke, but just like we love how Hollywood over the years has just put in a patent for any old tank, or like it's just happened over and over again. Like the Tiger One that shows up in Kelly's Heroes is obviously not a Tiger One, and it's just comical. So Fury is amazing because they're using legit tanks and vehicles, and a huge thanks to the Tank Museum in Bovington for providing that stuff. I love that when they got the tank back from the movie, they just preserved it screen accurate as best they could. It also makes my job easier.
I went to a big air show last year, and it was the first time I've ever seen. They did it was Bora Bora Bora.
Yeah.
And it was a reenactment of basically a Japanese bombing.
Okay. And
the way they did it was they took on the airstrip. There was like 4 plane. I was near the airfield, but I was still far enough back to where I really couldn't tell. 4 planes that were painted like zeros take off, and then all of a sudden 4 planes that were painted like it's not the Warthog, it's the what is it called? I have one. The
Corsair.
Is it the Warhawk? The one that has the jaws, the shark jaws painted on the front?
Oh, it's the P-40. Yeah. Yep.
Well, they had those that were painted like that take off. And they're all flying in like both directions, and then they come back and meet each other, and then they have the explosions for the bombs going off and everything. And I was talking to my wife, and I was like, I can't believe that they're like flying these planes. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, a zero over here is like non-existent. I was like, zeros never really hit the land over here unless they hit the land. And I was like, a P-40 is a very hard plane to like find, blah, blah. And then they get done, and I find out that they're just all reenactment planes. So they're just rebuilt to like resemble. Yeah. And I was like, man, that kind of weirded me out at first. Like they just have 4 random zeros that are at this like traveling circus, if you will, that they're just allowing to be flown.
Right.
So Richard,
the disarmament of
do what, Gene?
Fun fact: there's 2 P-40s at Twin Lakes Airport, just south of Knoxville.
Ooh.
Really?
Yep.
Worth looking at. Post World War II, like the disarmament of Japan was super serious. Like they were throwing every last thing they could into the ocean if it was a weapon of any kind. And it's like, and unlike doing research like I have to do with American stuff or German stuff, it's like there's just no existing artifacts from the Japan, the Asian theater at all, unless GIs brought it back as a souvenir, and then we get to see it. But it's just almost everything was discarded.
I watched a pretty cool documentary about that. I'm going to get the name wrong, but the Japanese World War II gun that has the the magazine on the top is the Ashika.
Yep, that sounds right.
Arasaka. Arasaka. That like what we know about it was because we brought them back.
Yep. Otherwise, we destroyed all the ones that were still there. Japanese weapons design from World War II is just comical. Like all their guns look like things that people would design after having a gun described to them. It's just like, oh, okay. So it should have a handle down here and a tube. Great. Like that's
very much so.
When you kill 20 people with headshots on Call of Duty, the gun you unlock. So the cool thing is me and I talked to Dylan about this and a little bit to Dan about it. So I agreed to Dan. I was like, you know what, I want to take the Battle of the Bulge up to World War Brick next year. We were talking and like everything, and I was talking to my wife. My wife's like, all right, whatever, we'll go. And I'm like, that's a 15-hour drive. There's no way I want to do that all in one day. I'm like, we have to split it up. So I got to like, what's halfway? 8 hours is okay. I could do an 8-hour drive in one day. And what happens to be almost perfectly in the middle of this 8-hour drive,
Buc-ee's in Tennessee, the biggest one ever,
is the Air Force Museum that's in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh yeah, I have not been there, but holy shit!
So the plan is that I am going to leave Monday, or we're going to leave, drive the 8 hours that Monday, spend Monday night in Dayton, Ohio, wake up Tuesday morning, hang out at the museum all day, go back to the hotel, go back to sleep, wake up Wednesday morning, and then head straight to y'all and be at y'all Wednesday night.
Okay.
That's the plan.
It's a good plan. From Ohio to Chicago is from Dayton to Chicago is probably what, 5-6 hours maybe?
From Dayton to Minneapolis was 6, or was 7.5.
Really? No, that can't be right. Can it?
That's what it came up as on here.
All right.
So Dayton,
the last time I drove across Indiana, it took forever. We went down there for the eclipse, and we weren't even driving across. We were just driving out of Indianapolis back to Minneapolis, and it took forever.
Oh no, sorry, it's 10 hours from Dayton, Ohio to Minneapolis.
Okay. So as somebody who has driven through and around Chicago, just be really careful how you time that hitting, because hitting Chicago anywhere around traffic time, which is a 4-hour window, morning and night, it can add 1, 2, 3 hours to your trip. It's brutal. It's like driving through Atlanta, probably.
I'll have to remember that.
Okay. Anyways, looking forward to seeing it. Yeah.
I wish it'd be easier to fly.
Would be, but then you have to build your mock creatively, or you could ship it. Ship it to the hotel, pick it up. Okay, but yeah, I mean, cross country. The Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio is totally high on my list. I just haven't had a reason to go to Ohio in forever. So
Trevor said that Chicago
is worse than Atlanta. Yeah, it's up there as the worst in America. And if it's summer, there's gonna be construction. Yeah, it's just bad. So it is what it is. It's spread out.
We'll have to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for this weekend or this week going forward? Sleep on Sunday night.
Sleep on Sunday night, go back to work on Monday. It's rough because it's one of those stretches that's just like really long continuous work, and being social for 3 days straight, 4 days straight is gonna be rough as an introvert with ADHD. But it's always a good time seeing the people. It's great because most of these people are people we talk to online, mostly not in real life. So, and I've been to enough World War Bricks now where it's familiar faces, people I haven't seen for a while. Excited to see people's mocks. Sam's Ships, that's pretty high up there. There's a barbecue Friday. I'm excited about barbecue. That's always great.
I know. I told Dan. He keeps sending all these pictures of all these like fire pizzas that he's done, and I'm like, if I drive all the way up there, do I at least get a pizza? He's like, I probably don't even eat the week of World War Brick.
This is true. Yeah. I'm hoping to go out for beer with people at least once this weekend. So that's a high priority anytime I'm getting together. And what else? The thing I'm working on for this weekend is a printed Risk board, but it'll be like, I think 5 feet by 3 feet. So just monstrously big. And so each 16 by 16 plate will be one little section of this thing. There's 144 16 by 16 plates.
Wow.
And like attendees get to put a puzzle together. Essentially, we'll give them a loose bag of tiles.
Nice.
And assemble the puzzle, and then we'll hook it all together, and then we'll play Risk on Sunday.
Didn't y'all do that before with one of the murals that are hanging up at?
We've got a lot of mosaics. Like, have you seen the First and Baston Museum mosaic? Yeah, that's in one of our stores. And we've got like an Iwo Jima mosaic. But it's always been a big part of World War Brick is to have people assemble mosaic chunks. And we were going to do a mosaic for the Risk board, and we moved it to printed tiles. But today is Wednesday. We have not printed a single tile yet, so wish me luck. How long does it take to print, 15 square feet of tile? I don't know. We'll find out. So, yeah. Also, that's such a really interesting. Like, I'm used to doing art on like 1 by 1 tiles, right? Like things that are 8 millimeters wide, and now I'm doing art for a thing that's 5 feet wide. Oof.
That's brutal.
A different level of, but still being just as precise on each one, or close to it.
I wish I've been thinking about for the longest time about buying a printer just so I could have a printer for my own use.
Yeah, have you priced them out yet?
The one I found was a UV printer, and it was like $8,000.
Okay.
And I know
full disclosure, Richard hasn't been thinking about buying one. Richard's been
emotional, damn it.
He's been continuously talking us into buying one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they buy one, then I have one, right?
Right. And then and then you can just say, "Hey, print this for me." That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you're really taking on something if you buy one. And I don't know if you've owned an inkjet printer.
Yeah.
And so you're familiar with like the cleaning regiment on an inkjet and how much ink that can waste, and then how it doesn't run if it runs out of one color, and how expensive that ink is. Like, now scale that up to something that also has UV light bulbs in it, and also fires white ink. And white ink is notorious for just destroying its own print heads. So the maintenance on a UV printer is really, really, really high. Like, just keeping the white flowing means the printer needs to cycle ink like every so often, and so if you're not printing every day, I mean, I really don't recommend owning one.
Well, a pad printer is even more expensive.
It is, and also less capable in a lot of ways, but also it's not going to break. A pad printer is just a freaking stamper, right?
Let me get something real quick.
So, yeah, so a lot more robust, the pad printers. But then again, every time you have a new piece of art to put down, you got to burn a plate.
Right.
And so trial and error becomes a lot more expensive with pad printers.
So does that mean, like, if a UV printer is $8,000, a pad printer is going to be like 12?
Could be if it's 4 color. That sounds right. Or up. Yeah.
Have you ever seen those like manual pad printers in use before?
I have. Yeah. I think they're great. I almost bought one for myself.
Oh yeah. How? Because like for every single detail you do, you'd have to put in a new slide to stamp it the first go, then stamp it on the Lego, right?
One more time. So like, so for the way the pad printing works is that you have a plate, you burn your art into it or etch your art into it.
Right.
You need squeegee ink onto it, pick up the ink with one press, and then press it down again. Yeah.
Right. Now, if you wanted not multiple things, but like a face, like if you wanted to do a Joker face and you had 3 different colors, you'd have to do 3 different stamps, right?
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So you'd run a batch of all the black and then come back with a different plate and do all the white, or vice versa. you do the white first and then the black on top of it.
But the other hard thing about doing that would be keeping it in the same spot, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, registration. Boom. Registration's rough. But that's a big part of, like, work holding is one of the worst parts of any of this. You guys are all done like machine shop work, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Tool holding and precision is critical.
So then out of everything you've done, what's your thing that you've hated to print the most?
We have a print job going right now that's just the worst. And we never should have agreed to it. I don't know if Andrea is still in the line, but
said Dan saying, "Hey."
He built a beautiful plane. It's a Tempest, and it's got a cockpit. The cockpit's like, I don't know, the half teardrop shape. It's like 4 wide, and it's kind of tapered a little bit towards the back, and a hinge. So that canopy piece, to get a continuous gray ring around it, it's 5 prints.
Wow.
And the only place to hold on to it is that bar at the end. So it's rough. Because say it's off by half a degree, that means your print is off by like 2 millimeters. And we need to be within 0.1 millimeters to have it look good. So we've scrapped a lot of cockpits on that job. Never should have done it. Never should have done it.
Now I don't know if this is like, so I know, I'll say this. I know another custom company, and one of the ways he prices his stuff is by how many that he thinks are going to fail. So like if it's a mold, he's not going to sell a mold that fails 1 every 10. He's not going to sell that for $1 a piece just because of the simple fact that every 100 you're making, you're losing 10.
I mean, yeah, like failure rates are real, and honestly, for us, it's like one of the things is like if we're using a printer, if we tied up a printer to print 4 canopies at a time, half of them are failing, or 1 in 3 are failing, and we print them 5 times. That printer could be printing minifigures like concurrently. So that's time away from doing things that are, we know are productive and like it pays the bills, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're super lucky to have as many printers as we have, and we invested heavily in it over the last few years. It's great, but it means we can do stupid things and print hard things. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I mean, I've always, I will say that everything I have that has a window or a cockpit from y'all has had stickers on it. I don't think I have a printed window or a cockpit.
It's really tough. Like those, like doing one like side of a cockpit would be totally doable because nothing needs to butt up and match.
Yeah.
But I mean, and again, when you start chaining things together, it can look rough really fast. But yeah. So you probably won't see it very often because I don't think we're going to do it again for a long time. But a pad printer would tackle that problem pretty easily. Like that difficult bent side would become one print, the back would be another print, and the side would be another. Because a pad printer squishing it just goes around the curve. So
that's pretty cool though. I don't know. Like I said, I've wanted a printer for a long time just for the simple fact that I like the idea of doing a bunch of stuff custom just for me.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people do.
There should be like a co-op, like go in and borrow the printer, for a few hours once a month and like come back out again. Like a hackerspace type setup for it. But
I'm not sure a lot of people would like that, but I agree.
But again, the maintenance is rough on them. Like they're definitely professional tools, and like you can find weird model UV printers, that are made in China, and I just don't trust them as far as I can throw them.
Hmm.
You know, so if you want to try and save money, like I wouldn't recommend going that route at all. Those are mostly designed to print phone cases and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So
The money you save on the front end, you're going to spend during maintenance.
yeah, if it's even possible to do maintenance, I mean, like who are you gonna call if it's a no brand printer? Like who's gonna work on it?
Hmm.
So, yeah, yeah.
What's your favorite thing you've ever printed?
My top kit that we've done was the Beffel's Panther that came out a year and a half ago. Have you seen that? Do you know what
Is
I'm
that the
talking
one
about?
that has the cage around it?
Does not have a cage around it. That's one of the Panzer IVs, and the two Panzer IVs we did that were full camo were also super amazing. I loved them. But the first one, the Beffel's Panther, we also did texture printing on because the Germans used to put this anti-tank or anti-mine paste around their tanks. So it looks like somebody started to tile their bathroom. They got the glue on the wall and they combed it and they walked away from it. And that's the texture that you find on a bunch of German tanks.
Oh
And
my
it's just this
goodness.
cement stuff that keeps a magnetic mine from sticking. So the Beffel's Panther, we did the bathroom grout on it with texture, which again took forever to print, but the entire tank is printed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And the camo, just like all the camo lines do the thing where they go from one piece to another, from one shape to another. Everything connects up. So that was a dream come true. Like, okay, we're doing a full camo print, and we just went full bore on it.
I just pulled it up now, so I'm looking at it.
Can you pull it up on the screen?
Yeah.
Hey, Brick Babe.
What's going on, Lene?
Wow, that's cool.
Right.
So, it won't let me zoom in any further, but I can see the texture he's talking about right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So that was one of the first full camo tanks that we did. The Panzer IVs were also great. Especially like the first of the Panzer IVs had a winter camo, and that had and when the Germans painted winter camo, they put down a whitewash on top of their regular camo. So I really tried to reproduce that because that whitewash just wears off pretty quickly. So you get this nice weathering look.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those models that's like, okay, we've really pushed a long way far away from the Lego aesthetic, and maybe we pressed too far away from it. Let me see if I can find it for you. But yeah, I'd like to think of myself as pushing the art form forward.
We'll say everything's popping up but that tank. Here it is.
Oh, that's the second one. That's not the winter one.
No.
That's a Stug 3. Yeah.
But that piece on the side is pretty cool.
Yeah. And that's a 3D printed part. Those are great. All right. How do I present? Can I present?
You have to submit it, and then I have to approve it.
All right. I'll throw a link in chat. How about that?
But you can
yeah, you just hit the present
just
button
hit
at the
present
bottom.
and then choose it, and then it'll pop up at the bottom, and I have to click to OK it. Is this like y'all side of it? Do I get to see some cool like Brickmania never seen before?
Does present only work with Chrome? Do I need a Chrome window? Probably.
I don't know.
All right. Getting into the technical weeds here.
Got a Brickmania cart now I need to buy. Speaking of Brickmania. I'm trying to wait till Friday. I'm trying to hold off. I've got like 4 orders out there in limbo now.
There you go.
Totally lost you guys for a second there. Boom. All right, let me try this again. So present. What's supposed to happen here?
Yeah, hit
Slides,
present,
video
then
file.
share screen. And
Yeah.
then there's a Chrome tab, window, or entire screen.
All right, got it.
There we
Boom.
go.
Yeah, so that's the winter camo. So for
Oh,
this
that's
one, I
cool.
painted a full, like regular camo, and then whitewashed on top of it, and then
Wow.
wore it off.
Yeah.
So really love weathering. I really love texture, and this one's just killer.
Looks
And
great.
also this 3D printed armor around the turret. Oh my god, difficult to print. Very difficult to print again. Because it's again 4 things need to match up. Oof,
Yeah.
rough.
Mod T-Rex says, "What are y'all building?" We're actually not building anything. We're looking at some of Slam's designs.
Yeah. So that's a cool one. And then I do all the perfect calibers for the most part. If people haven't seen perfect calibers, they're the printed brick arms. And there's so many things. So many things.
I was gonna say you don't know about this yet, but so I guess it was whenever Shy was on. Me and Shy were talking about me building the mock. We were like basically describing what I expected the mock to turn out to be. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy a couple of the like perfect calibers, and they're gonna go to like in certain people's hands that are like, you know, a scene is coming, and then everybody else that's gonna be dead or blah 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 is just laying around with normal brick arms. So I order like, I'm gonna say 150 brick arms of just different weapons.
Nice, yeah.
And now I'm like,
armory.
yeah, and now I've just was like, well, that's not a good idea because I want everything to be like really detailed. So now I'm like, I think all in all jokes aside, I think I have at least 100 to 150 perfect caliber weapons.
Dang.
I bought 50 of the MP40s.
Nice.
I bought 50 of the M1 Garands. The bar that came out, I think I have 25 of the bar.
Nice. That's a favorite of mine. Yeah.
I know that I've got the paratrooper, the M1.
Mm-hmm.
I have both M1s, and I think I have like 30 a piece of those.
Cool.
So now I just bought the I got an order in maybe last week, and I think it had 10 in it, and I think I got an order that'll be here tomorrow that has 15 or 20 of the G43s or the 34. Sorry.
Yep. That's a really great. That should cover your mock for sure.
I just need those MG42s.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. A lot of the stuff that we were doing from Brick Arms, like my favorite to print on is gunmetal, because like it's pretty easy to go a little bit darker with gunmetal without having to use white ink. But a lot of the gunmetal Brick Arms are disappearing. Like the stocks are drying up. I don't know if there's a plastic shortage or what's going on with that, but it's kind of breaking my heart because I'm like, like printing on black weapons means you have to use white ink to get anything to show, and that can look a little bit cruddier. So versus just tinting down from a certain color. But
Mod said that he is building a mock. It's a Renaissance painting, but in Lego, and he is not made of money, so he does not buy Brickmania. It is way too expensive. Brickmania is expensive, but it's worth it.
I mean, as a Brickmania employee, like I don't own a lot of Brickmania. It's expensive. People are into it. I really appreciate that, and they're willing.
That
to
is one of the
spend money
crazy
on that.
things I've learned is me posting as much Brickmania stuff as I do. I joke all the time, but there's very few kits that I own. Most of the stuff I have is digital instructions, just because like the kits for a lot of the stuff that I've used or want just don't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
And they'll message me and be like, "Oh man," like they'll show me a picture or something where they have like oh, you're building 6 Shermans? Well, I got 15 kits. And I'm like, what?
Just stop flashing your wall like that.
Yeah, I'm like,
dang.
why?
Yeah, people collect what they want to collect, and I am never going to harsh on somebody's like squee for what they love and what they want to put their money towards. Not everybody's budget is the same. I would love to buy Lego and Brickmania kits all the time, but I'm out of space. I don't have tons of display space.
So that's where I'm getting right now is Brickmania kits that I have take up quite a bit of space.
I mean, but Brickmania kits compared to Lego sets, like if you're going to put like the same amount of money towards UCS kits, like the budget for storage and display is like tenfold.
I have the SkyTrain sitting on a random table over there because I don't have room for it behind me. And
I'm sorry, I forgot about the SkyTrain. Like some of those planes get to be real huge.
Yeah. Well, I've got the B-17.
Yeah.
And then I've got the P-38 and the Gotha.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. It's like stacked up randomly because like I don't know where to put anything. And then like literally on this, I don't even know, it's not going to focus. On this shelf is literally all the vehicles out of Bricks in the Sand and the Schnook and the Ghost of Kaiv. It's like I have ran out of room completely.
Yeah, it's rough. Like that's like, and you got deep shelves. I wish I had deep shelves. So, but yeah.
Like Lego sets, I don't mind. The big thing about me is I don't mind breaking apart a Lego set.
Correct.
I got a Lego set. It's been displayed for a while. Break it apart. Either keep it all together or throw all the pieces into inventory or whatever. But like, I have a very hard time taking apart any other kit. I've got 4. Me and Drew know a guy. His name is actually Two Bricks. He designs Lego Star Wars really builds, and if Lego comes out with a Star Wars ship, he just kills the design of it. It's just so much nicer. And I've got 4 of his builds up here that are quite the size. And
does he sell his own instructions, or does he like sell through like Republic Bricks or?
I think it's Rebrickable.
Rebrickable.
I think I don't. Drew, he doesn't have a website by himself, does he?
I don't think so. If it does, it goes straight to his Rebrickable.
Yeah.
He built this phase 1 trooper up here.
Okay.
And he sold the instructions. And then it's kind of funny. Before I even knew who he was, I saw it on a YouTube video. I said, I want that. And I went and I bought the instructions for it and I built it. And then him and I are close buddies now. And this was like years ago. And then I just met him last year.
It was like the first or second year I had the YouTube channel. It was when Fallen Order, the Jedi Fallen Order came out, the Star Wars game.
Yeah.
And you know what the Mantis Stinger is from the game?
No, I don't. I do not.
It's like a weird, it almost looks like a circular shape that has a huge wing off the top of it. And when it's flying, the wing actually lays down. He made one, and I was like, I got to have that. So I bought it, bought all the pieces, built it, and was talking to him about it because I did like a review video for it. And he was like, dude, if you want to do another review video here, and he gave me the instructions for his X-Wing. And then like now I've got, I think, 2 other of his builds.
Nice.
And they're all very, very high quality. So I don't mind popping apart like a Lego set, but like some of these vehicles that I have from Brickmania, I don't know.
I feel the same way about breaking down Lego sets. I'm like, if I bought something new and it's worth displaying, I need to take something down. That's my current role, like 1 in, 1 out. And if I take it down, it gets taken apart forever.
So what is your?
I don't bag kits up. Like it goes.
What's the one Lego kit that's designed that you have that you just can't take apart? No matter how much room you run out of, it's one that stays.
Oh man, I'm looking around. I don't remember what year Y-Wing it is, but Yeah, this one's staying together. Play
Well,
scale Y-wing
except
from
for
like 2018, maybe. Because that's the one I picked up that really got me back into the hobby for real. I'm like, this is a brilliant little kit. So that one's sticking around. Most of my Star Wars spaceship collection is just it's staying built. And I love that they're doing the small spaceship stuff because I did start getting the MIDI scale spaceships from, I think it's Republic Bricks. And I really like them. So I've got a really
I'm
sweet
not built
hammerhead.
any of the. I have almost all the UCS sets, and then I have a couple of the smaller stuff. But I've not any of the MIDI scale that's new. I've not bought any of that.
I don't like them as much as I thought I would. After the Executor last year, it was so cool. Executrix. You know, the MIDI scale of Star Destroyer that kicked it all off. Like, yeah.
Hey, Mod, I'm actually gonna keep this for next week. I want to show this in our where we go over people's mocks because that's actually really really cool.
Okay.
He sent me a. But yeah, I tell everybody like I've been asked a question so many times of if your house is on fire and you had to grab one Lego set to take out of your house, what would it be? And everybody jokes, I'm like, it's the B-17, and they're like,
making for the most clumsy escape of all time. Like, no.
Well, I don't know what it is. We had this talk, I think, with Dylan. The B-17 is the whole reason I want to go to the Airspace Museum in Dayton.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just that's like the plane that does it for me, and I don't know why. Like that, I've seen F-22s and F-35s do things that vehicles should not be able to do.
Right. I have also seen that. Yeah.
I've been in a Chinook. I've been in a Skytrain. I've been in the back of an AC-130, and I have never touched a B-17. And for some reason, that just like I don't know what it does. I'm like I'm going to.
I mean, that is the plane that's the most like the Millennium Falcon, right? So you should get a lot of Millennium Falcon vibes out of that.
I don't like. The thing is, so one of the things that made me love the B-17. Have you ever heard of the Fat Electrician?
The Fat Electrician?
Yeah.
No.
So he is a guy that I've been watching on YouTube for a very long time. He is him and a couple other guys are a part of a huge podcast thing, and he does a lot of historical stuff where he goes over vehicles, weird things the military's used, just like very odd stuff. Mm-hmm. And I've always loved B-17s. And then I hear this story about this group called the Old 666. And long story short, it was a group of pilots, it was a pilot and this group of guys who had a B-17 that was flying in Europe in World War II. They were basically given a mission. They get up in the air with their whole entire squad. The first thing they do is peel off and go bomb something that's like way, way more effective than what they were supposed to do. Come back, they get like chastised, everything else. Second mission, go up, same exact thing. They break off on their own. They go bomb something that's way more, catastrophic towards Germany. Land, get chastised again. Third time, exact same thing. They hit I think they hit like a bearing factory the third or fourth time.
This does sound familiar. I have so many questions about like, are they proving that they're hitting these things? Are they getting like corroborating evidence that they hit these things successfully?
Well, that's
like, I mean,
he goes over some of the stuff in the video, but that's also,
also like, how the heck did they like survival rates are so low for that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like, and I suppose if you have like a huge bomber wave going that way, then all the fighters and all the flak are going that way.
Yeah.
A single plane going that way
might be a little more safe.
Maybe life is easier, yeah.
But apparently, like they came back down their fourth. I think it was like their fourth mission, and they were basically like told they can't do it. They're not going back up. They don't listen. They don't respect anything. Blah blah blah. Well, these guys end up going to a junkyard and taking parts from beat up B-17s and putting their own B-17 together, and flew it up once again and ended up just demolishing a tank factory that apparently like not a lot of people knew that even existed where it was at. I don't know. Like I said, he does a lot of his research. Everything he's said is done true. I've looked it up before to see the plane because apparently like the plane was very patched together. Of course, it's not going to look as good as it did out of the showroom floor if someone has taken a bunch of blown up ones and putting it together.
But I mean, after a few missions, all the B-17s looked like they were patched together.
Oh yeah,
like hats off to all ground crews like in England.
So
yeah, keeping that shit flying, it's got to be insane.
It's a cool story to hear about.
Do you watch Masters of the Air?
Yes.
Yeah.
My favorite scene out of that entire show though had nothing to do with the B-17.
Okay. What was that?
My favorite scene in that show is when they're all sitting in the prison camp, and it's got like they're all just talking, and the Tuskegee airman stands up and he's like, "Do y'all hear that?" And he's like, "Hear what?" And he's like, "It's a fucking P-51." And like you just see the plane come in, they start just like ripping stuff apart. Everybody's running their own direction, and like that was when they climbed on top of that fort and tore down the German flag and raised the American one. It was like that to me was the coolest part of that entire show.
Yeah,
and that show also gave me like I don't get into very many shows to a point where like I have to watch it every week, but I watch that show every week. And when they showed basically everybody returning and Bucky dying, I was really like, what the hell?
I mean, hey, spoilers for all the people. Yeah. Taking out, like, I'm like, who the hell is going to be in the rest of the show?
Exactly.
Like, of all the people they introduced at the beginning, like, we're down to like 2 people left.
Buck.
Right?
It was Buck. It was Buck and I forget his name, but the guy, the
chief navigator, that didn't fly anymore. Yeah. And I'm like, Chief Navigator's not going to be able to carry the show. He's nice. He's great, but he's not going to carry the show.
For 3 other episodes, it's just some guy sitting there with like a switchboard and like a huge map.
Right? Chatting up the ladies. Yeah. Anyways, great show. That was a really fun part of last year. Masters of the Air coming out. I don't know if they're doing another season of that, are they? It kind of felt like a one and done.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, it was from the same guys who did the Pacific and with the Band of Brothers.
Yeah,
and those were one and done. So I don't think that. I mean, I don't know how you would do another episode because the end of that was the end of the war, right?
Right, the end of that. So they'd have to pick another theater like they did with Pacific. I mean, there's room for more things. So, yeah. We did a P-40 Burma Banshees last year. I don't know if you saw that kit, but I'm really excited that we did that one because it's just such an underrepresented theater of the war. It's like Burma and India, and those guys were like I described as they're out there at the end of the earth, like the end of the supply chain, fighting for their lives. You know,
the one kit that I absolutely missed was so every year I go to Brick Fair, Virginia, I make it a point to buy a kit. How I decide what that kit is basically just seeing what the store has and it's standing out. Last year, there was 2 sets that were there on Wednesday when I got there. And when I went back, they were not there for me to buy. One of them was the African BF-109.
Yeah. Yep. The nougat and green one.
Yeah. And the other one was the Devastator. I forgot the name of the actual plane, but it's the one where the wings fold up on the side, and it's the.
Devastator. Okay, like completely blanked on what that name meant. I'm like,
both of those
seems like a Star Wars thing.
So I ended up spending money on minifigs instead.
Okay, it's always a choice.
My buddy Kevin said that fun fact: military MRE heaters can be turned into IEDs. They can be deployed against an enemy or an ally as a joke. Just depends on how nuts you want to get.
I was just handed MRE heaters today. Like, one of our fans came in from Hungary and he's like, "Do you want some MRE heaters?" And I'm like, and I just had never read the warning label on one of those before. It's like, "Oh, this thing gives off hydrogen. If you use more than 10 of these in an enclosed space, you can explode your space pretty easily." So
your space will now expand.
Right.
What was on the inside will be on the outside.
So yes, I just learned that today, Kevin, because I read the warning label for the first time. Also, I'm like, if this thing can cook your food for you, should I be using it as like hand warmers in the winter? Like, how hot do they get?
I mean, technically, you can use your oven as a hand warmer, depending on how your skin's gonna feel.
Yeah. So I'm excited to try that next winter. It's now in my desk drawer. It's still sealed up, so it doesn't explode. Yeah.
You're gonna open your drawer one day, and it's just
one of the office mice has gotten into it, and it's just now like inside it out. Yeah.
One of my buddies pulled a joke on me one time, and it was the only time I've ever not really known what was going on. Somebody that I know very, very close, we were at his house, and he lives in the middle of nowhere. He pulls out of a case a grenade. I didn't think anything about it. I'm like, what in the hell? He pulls the pin and hands it to me. So the first thing I do, chuck it. And I hear a pop, and then it's just a smoke grenade.
Okay.
And I was like, had no idea what you just did, but now that I shit myself.
Jeez.
Huh.
That's crazy.
With friends like that, yeah, that's that's awesome. Okay. Mark it up to experience. You get a good story out of it. How long did it take for the smoke to clear?
Well, it was one of the I forgot what they're called. Kevin will know for a fact. Well, I guess you will too. The colored smoke to tell where the helicopter will land.
Yep.
It was pretty windy, so it didn't take it didn't take that long, but it was still like it had me wondering, like, is somebody gonna see what we're back here doing? Like,
yeah, anybody overhead, yeah, they would. Like, at least, yeah, that's what it's designed to do. Cool.
But it was pretty cool. I just when I did it and saw what happened, I just wondered to myself if anyone had ever pulled one and let one go inside of like a bunker or a hangar, like just to pull a mean prank.
There's a Marine for every stupid thing, right?
Well, Kevin was actually a Marine, so he will agree with that.
I mean, I shouldn't be like yes, Marines are fucking fantastic. Shy, hello, Shy, if you're out there, but Anyways, keep in mind, like almost every enlisted serviceman is just like a 19-year-old, right? They're still making the dumbest decisions.
Just popped
right?
out of nowhere and said, "Damn right."
Oh, hey, Shy. Yeah. So, anyways, there's a stupid Marine for everything. Any 19-year-old kid in the Army is going to do a stupid thing if given the opportunity, and that's the whole point of the military, is to try to train them not to be stupid.
The difference
try to keep them from doing stupid shit. So
the difference between the Army and the Marine is the Marine is like 35 when he does it.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty. I've like hearing some of the stories I've heard. It's like if you can't trust the person standing next to you as much as you can, because he's going to do something to you. It might not kill you, but he's going to do something to you. Just as bad as the person that's across the road you're firing at.
Right.
But, they just do it to show their love and keep you on your toes. Can't let anybody get too lazy. Yeah, that's fine. I'm an older brother, so I totally get it. You just got to keep the kids on their toes.
whenever this thing ends, which is like coming up here in like 2
Yeah, it
minutes,
should. Yep.
I'll tell you a story afterwards that I heard, and it's pretty remarkable the stupid crap that people do to each other. But it's pretty funny. But it is getting that time, guys. Does anybody
any questions from the audience? Wait. Yeah.
We've been talking about what Slam's going to do the rest of the week. Drew, you got anything planned?
Yeah, hopefully getting this next video done. I've been working on the new Skyrim world, so hopefully getting that video out on Saturday or Sunday.
I'm really hoping to have this Battle of the Bulge video out by like Sunday, but I don't think it's going to happen. Gene, y'all got anything special going on?
Yeah, the big thing this week is our architectural firm's moving. Started today through Friday. So we have got just crazy amount of work to do and move in the process also.
Wow. How big is the firm?
9-person.
Okay. That doesn't sound too bad. How long you been in your current space?
10 years.
Okay, that's pretty. That could be rough.
10 years. They moved a Montessori school into the rest of our building, and so it's an absolute nightmare. Anytime parents are picking up kids or dropping off kids, we have no parking lot. Some of us became automatic felons the day they moved in because, well, when you conceal carry and you're now in a school building, that's bad.
Oh, that doesn't seem fair. Like we were here first,
right?
But that doesn't matter. Yeah,
and we have guns.
Okay. But no, it's a good move. We're moving to a nicer building. It's just there's a lot to do, and I'm the number 2 guy in the firm, and so a lot of it's falling on my shoulders.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. Have a good weekend.
Do you have to be when it's over?
Well, I would like to thank Slam for coming and hanging out.
Yes, thank you, Slam.
Thank everybody in the chat. But always that time.
I had a good time. Thanks for having me a lot. Invite me back at some point.
Definitely.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Maybe when it's
how does next Wednesday look?
Yeah.
Funny you say that, but yeah, no, let's not do next Wednesday.
But
yeah. As a battery, I am exhausted.
But thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you. See ya. Thanks a lot.